Star Wars Episode 7, the first thing that I think that we'll all be looking out for is what's happened to the original cast. What are the relationships like between Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker? We don't know what the relationships are between these people. You know, the last time we saw Luke and Leia and Han was on Endor, and it looked like Han and Leia were falling in love. And we don't know whether they're married or whether they've had children or what's going on in terms of that dynamic. We don't know whether Han Solo and Chewbacca are still flying around in a heap of junk, or whether they've managed to upgrade their ship to something slightly better. And what's going on with Luke? We don't know what he's been up to for the last 30 years. Could Luke have been training other Jedi? Yoda's dead, as we know, and he's a Force ghost. So has Luke been training the next set of Jedi to help protect and defend the galaxy? George Lucas once said that he was telling the story of Star Wars through the eyes of R2-D2 and C-3PO, and we know that they're both back in the films as well. So is that going to be a continuation? Are we going to still really be seeing the story from their eyes, or will they just be, just be there because they've always been there? So it's going to be very interesting to see how the old cast fits into Episode 7 30 years on. The second thing that I'll be looking out for, I think, is the story. At the end of Return of the Jedi, everything was good. There was peace and there was tranquility in the galaxy, and freedom had been restored to everybody, and there was no evil empire. But there's got to be a protagonist, because otherwise there wouldn't be a film. So who has emerged as the new villain, the central villain to Episode 7? Is it, somebody saying, maybe Luke's turned to the dark side? The first three films told the story of Anakin Skywalker and how he became this evil monster. But as we found out, there was still some good in him. So who and what is going to be the protagonist in Episode 7? Because that's going to be, Darth Vader is probably the most iconic villain that we've, that screen has seen in the last 40, 50 years. So who is going to be that iconic villain? Who is that going to be? And are they going to be as menacing as Darth Maul? Well, the final thing, I think what Star Wars was known for was casting obscure people in these absolutely legendary roles. And they've pretty much done the same thing again. They've picked some really, really obscure names that people haven't really heard of, just don't know anything about them. Show reels were taken down last night of some of these new cast members. We know that there's a new female lead, but we don't know an awful lot about her, apart from the fact that she's been in an episode of Casualty and she was in an episode of Miss Selfridge. Then we've got John Boyega, who is he's been cast as one of the new characters in the new 24 TV series that's about to start. But again, pretty obscure names: Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, and then a couple of very, very big names that we've known from some major films. So we've got Andy Serkis, who's been in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and then we have an absolute legend. We have Max Von Sydow, who I remember as a child, who played Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon. And for those people that don't know, Flash Gordon was really the inspiration for Star Wars. And it's going to be really, really amazing to see how they fit in to the existing cast and the existing story, and to see where they take us and the journey that they take us on.